right, so like I said, I'm gonna hit you with a lot of videos today. I'm gonna discuss all the fights from last night. So Errol Spence, he's another win. Okay, he stopped his opponent last night. His opponent was complaining of hand pain, I believe, but we know, where the fight was going anyway. Okay, another dominating performance of Errol Spence. Uh, my thoughts, I haven't really talked about him on my channel yet. Uh, he is probably my favorite prospect, him and Felix Verdejo. Those are my two favorite prospects. So I think most people would agree that Errol Spence is probably one of the most, if not the most talented prospect out here. Little room of error, all right? I rarely see him make any mistakes defensively or offensively. This kid is, this kid, there's a lot of prospects, and I believe he said it even in his own interview that there's been a lot of prospects that's been losing lately in the past year or so, and he's just trying not to be one of those fighters. Very humble guy, seems very focused. Even coming into this fight, he's mentally like, a lot of prospects been losing lately. I don't want to be the next one, so I'm mentally prepared for every fight. He's ready for a top 15 welterweight, but he seems to come and go in every fight like it's a big fight to him, and I love that. I like that. I think the Charlo twins have a similar attitude, and Jamal actually fought on the same card. I'm going to discuss that in another video. But anyway, Errol Spence is, I already think he's top level. I know he hasn't fought the competition, and it's not really good to overhype a prospect until he actually gets in the ring with someone that is better quality opponents. But I don't see mistakes with this kid. This kid, being in there and sparring with Floyd. We heard the rumors about that. Sparring with Adrian Broner. We heard the rumors about that. Whether or not they're true, it's just this kid has a bright future. And if he cracks the top 15 welterweights, I'm going to be honest here. There's not many of them I can see him losing to, okay? Unless he has a weak chin or something, I just don't see it. His defense is so good. I mean, he rolls the punches well. He doesn't drop his hands. He rarely does it. He has a good jab, but he's rarely ever lazy. It's like he rarely makes any mistakes. I mean, even fighting the lower quality opponents that he's been facing, he never gets reckless or anything like that. And I really think this kid is the next big thing. Him and Felix Verdejo for Puerto Rico. It's another kid that he's an amazing fighter right now. And these guys are the future of boxing. And I think more people need to discuss them and let go of the Floyd Mayweather talk. Every video is just back to back, but I think this kid is the next big thing, without a doubt. And if he were to just step up, I'm not going to name any names because, I don't want to get, bashed on him because he really hasn't fought anyone yet. But I really don't see this kid losing to the majority of welterweights in the division, okay? Unless he has a glass jaw that we didn't figure out, because that happens. But one last thing. He already mentioned that he's having a tough time. Sometimes it's hard for him to make welterweight, okay, make the weight. I don't know how long, because he's still young, he's still growing. I don't know how long he's going to continue fight at 147. He might have to move up to 154 quicker than he thinks, okay, as early as next year or maybe the following year, So I don't know if he's ever going to fight for a title at 147. I noticed there's a pattern with Al Haymon fighters, or just fighters in general, that the promoters are usually, well, we know he's a manager, but the promoters are usually rushing the fighters to big shots that are already in their 30s. Like we had Louis Ortiz fight, and I'm going to talk about that fight. He's already 35 years old, and he's already the WBA interim title, champion. He was rushed to that, okay? Don't have a lot of professional fights. Didn't really fight any notable opponents except Monte Barrett. he's gonna get rushed. You know, certain fighters are gonna get rushed, whereas a guy like Errol Spence is just taking every very small baby steps. Okay. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. I haven't spoke about him yet. All right, and just stay tuned because I'm gonna do a bunch of more videos. Okay, peace.